Hmm.
It takes a whole community. All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on when and where you're watching this Facebook Live. This is Dr. Ola Benton. I help patients live long and well because I believe the quality of life is just as important as the quantity of life. I know I say it all the time. I'm excited about this topic, but I really, really excited about this because I'll be honest with you, we all agree marriage is work, right? Relationships are work. And so a lot of conversations come up in the challenges with communication or couples not seeing eye to eye, and so it can lead to stress, which can then lead to health problems, sleepless nights, anxiety, and just overall poor quality of life. And so the topic is near and dear to my heart. We're going to be talking about exercise as a way to get closer to your spouse. Talk about win-win-win, right? So please, as always, hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're watching replay. And if you know people that should be watching this or you just want to gift them this live, go ahead and tag them and forward this to them. But I'm excited to have our guest on today, Dr. Tobi. Okay. Did I say that right?
That's correct.
I did. Okay. Well, welcome to the show and thank you for being here.
It is my privilege, and I'm excited for this conversation. I'm excited to be able to connect with you as well. And you are doing some great work in Texas, and I love the mission of what you're doing, and just with these lives as well as your practice. So it's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, for the sake of our guests, could you kindly introduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Dr. Tobi. I'm actually the founder of Rehab Mobile. We're a physical therapy company. And to really sum up what we do, it's funny. Someone asked me this question yesterday. They met me in the Panera, a random individual. They just started talking to me. And pretty much what I told them is what I tell everyone, which is what I'll tell you. We help people to do what other people tell them they would never be able to do in terms of their
Mhm.
physical health and their body. And so to make it really simple and plain, we help people to stay healthy, pain-free, fit, and mobile. But I would have to just tell you that we're really in the business of transforming people's lives and helping them to do what nobody else thinks they would be able to.
I love that. Helping them do what people thought that's what's up. That's good. That's some good one. Talk
Yeah.
about improving quality of life and quantity of life. So that's big. Now, I know we're talking about exercise as a way to get closer to your spouse, but I want you to speak because I saw your LinkedIn posts. I want to tell my viewers, and I was so intrigued to see you and your wife, exercising together as a way to one bring you two together, but also to encourage people to exercise. Of course, when you have people supporting you, positive peer pressure, you're more likely to do it. But could you first tell us why you went into physical therapy and then why you not pivoted, but why you took this niche on?
Yeah. So two reasons why I started physical therapy. Number one, in high school, my mom introduced me to the field. She's a nurse. And then I never knew about physical therapy as a field. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I ended up learning about the field through her. And she introduced me to where I found a physical therapist who owned his own practice, a minority, African-American guy. Love what he did. I love that he was knowledgeable about the body. And one of the things I love about physical therapy is that I wanted to have knowledge to be able to help people with what I knew about the body, being very knowledgeable about it. And so the second reason why I got into physical therapy is because I'm somebody who's grown and been raised in the church and gave my life to Christ many years ago. But the point is
Mm,
that I learned something through observation in the church. I learned that a lot of people in the church have health challenges, health crises, health issues. And one of the things that I found is one of the most predominant prayer points for people in a church where you have older individuals is health, right?
right,
And
right.
we're sometimes relying or expecting God to do what he has expected us to be able to
Mm,
steward in terms of how we
mm.
take care of our health. And so I wanted to be able to advocate for people in the church to be able to become healthier, to help them and things like that. So those are my two main passions, knowing a lot about the body, being able to do things with my hands. Like if I went on a mission trip right now, I wouldn't really need anything other than the knowledge that's in my head to be able to help people make their lives better, make them healthier, make them feel stronger and things like that. I really don't need anything because the knowledge is in my head. So that's what I love about physical therapy, but then also being able to help people who are churchgoers, people who love God and want to be able to better their lives.
I love that. Now, why did you pivot to like? I mean, I saw your post. So the couple, what stirred that conversation? Or yeah.
Well, so many things, right? One of the struggles that people have is that they're like, well, I want to be more consistent in being healthy and all these different things. And the reason why people can't be consistent in living a healthy life is because they don't have a reason that's meaningful enough for them, right? And so, one of the things that will help people become more consistent in their life in terms of being healthy, exercising, and eating well is when they have a greater reason for doing it. And when they
Mm.
understand that living a healthy life will help them in all the other areas of their life that are meaningful to them, like their relationships, their marriage. Like literally, your fitness affects your faith, it affects your finances, it affects your family, it affects your future in so many areas. And so, uh, one of the things that we try to emphasize to people through our programs and through what we do is just that it means more than just being healthy, because there's something in your life that is directly correlated or impacted by you being healthier. And one of those areas that's important to a lot of people is the area of relationships and marriage. You can improve that area of your life significantly if you get in better health and better shape.
Awesome. 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 So let's get right into it. So let's talk how for someone who's watching who's like, I don't know, when I exercise with my spouse, he's a little intense, or she's a little lazy, or she doesn't, So to help me here, how does exercising together benefit a couple's relationship?
I love it. It's a great question. And in fact, I'm even going to reel it back one step. You can actually improve your relationship with your spouse and your marriage and all these other areas of your life even before you start exercising with your spouse. So
Okay.
one of the things that I mentioned and I teach and I talk to people about is the fact that when it comes to your relationship and your marriage, you are one of the most important ingredients to that equation. And so when you get better, when you start improving your mood, improving your attitude, improving your mental health, improving your energy levels, what you bring to the table is automatically already going to begin to make things better, because you are better and you're one of the key ingredients that is
Yeah.
determining the taste of this meal called marriage, right? And so one of the things that we should realize is before you even start exercising with your spouse, because like you said, there are a lot of those barriers where it's like, can we really exercise together? We don't like doing the
Right.
same things. Maybe you like to run. Maybe I like to lift weights or do this and the third. Well, one of the simplest activities that I would encourage is that spouses can do together is walking. And one of the reasons why is because you can take long walks, which gives quality time, and it gives a quantity of time that you can have together to talk. And it's not as physically demanding, but it still produces a lot of physical benefits in terms of the endorphins and all the other things that happen. So there are low levels of physical activities that both people can mutually do together, but it even starts when one person is just working on themselves from a health and fitness standpoint.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Even before the exercise, you can start to do the things, and it definitely helps when you have someone next to you as well. And you prioritizing your health can stir the other one to also prioritize their health. I see that happen quite a bit. Now, how does exercising together enhance communication? And I'll give this example. I had I have a patient. Now, this is probably an outlier, but I had a patient who said, I love to exercise with my wife. I love walking with her. But when I saw my lab results, I decided I was going to start running. Now she can't run, and I run fast, and so I run circles around her. And she doesn't like it. So, do you have any ideas for those who want to walk/run, but they don't seem to have the same pace? Do you have any tips for them?
Yeah, I think that's part of where the communication can come in. And it starts with you seeing the value of the exercise as more than just the physical exercise itself. If you can begin to almost like knocking out two birds with one stone, because it's kind of
Mm,
like, how when you're in negotiation, maybe you're negotiating for a salary or whatever, they're like, don't leave any money on the table, right? Well, it's like you're already spending that time to bond and you're in the same environment, right? And so you can leave no extra money on the table by you saying, okay, cool. I'm not only going to get the benefits from exercising and the physicality, but I also want to
mm,
get the benefits from bonding with my spouse. So how can I communicate in a way where we can actually problem solve together, where we can take this time where we're exercising together? This is what I need to do. I need to run in order to get my, thing going. And she needs to walk because she can't necessarily run. But how do we now begin to structure this in a certain kind of way whereby maybe I take breaks during my running to be able to walk with her so we can have time to talk. Maybe I say, hey, I'm going to be doing 3 laps today, and then I'm going to do a walk with you. And then I'm going to do another 2 laps and then a walk with you, right? How do I communicate in a way where I can get double the benefits and leave no money on the table, leave no benefits on the table? Let it not only be about the exercise, but let it be about the bond and the exercise of us connecting together while we're actually doing this. So let's make it work for both of us. This will actually strengthen your communication and your problem solving skills at the same time, which can help you even in your marriage in general.
I love it. This is what I call batching at its finest. I'm a big fan of batching. Meaningful time with the kids, meaningful time with the spouse while you're exercising, but you want to make sure you don't lose focus on the two. You want to work out, but you want to bond with your spouse. Okay. Now
There
you
you go.
talked about walking. Are there any other specific exercises? Because on your LinkedIn, you weren't just walking. You all were doing still. You were doing like so. Help us out here. Any other
So
exercises? Mhm.
So truly, and so I'll give you some examples, but truly, I would say for, if we talk about people who are couples in different stages of their physical fitness journey, right? Walking
Mm,
at all levels is going to be beneficial for so many reasons. One, if you start getting 10,000 steps a day, typically, if you go on a walk for about an hour and a half to maybe about 2 hours, that'll get you about 10,000 steps. But the point is that 10,000 steps is a great way for weight management, and it's low hanging fruit, and it allows you to be communication. I mean, if you're doing some more intense forms of exercises, it's going to be a little bit challenging to have good conversation or whatever the case may be during that time period. Now, if we want to talk about some other forms of exercise, I always recommend weight training, weightlifting.
mm.
Lifting weights is great because once you hit the age of 30, your metabolism is going to slow down because you lose a lot of muscle mass. And so for a lot of people who are wondering, oh man, I hit 30 and I'm gaining excess weight, or people talk about the marriage 15 and stuff like that, all those different things, your muscle mass is decreasing at a fast rate. And so if you maintain your muscle mass and build strong muscles, that's going to help you to actually lower your fat and decrease your body fat percentage. And most people are confused because they're like, well, if I start lifting weights, I'm going to get bulky and become like a body builder or become like a bouncer outside of a club. But that's not the case. If you lift weights, it's actually going to help your body, and you can actually shorten the amount of time that you spend working out by doing the right kind of workouts in terms of weightlifting. So things like squats, lunges, push-ups, other types of exercises that just involve some kind of weight is going to be very, very helpful.
All right, awesome. Now, I know earlier we talked about weight, we talked about walking. We talked about some of the common challenges couples face. So where there's a discordance with intensity of exercise or desire to exercise. But what are other common challenges couples face? And I ask this question so that we can address it before they come up. Like, well, your doctor said we should exercise together. I don't think it's a good idea. So let's talk about some of the hiccups. What are common challenges couples face when they're trying to start an exercise program together, and how can they overcome them?
Okay, well, a couple. One simple one is, maybe somebody has pain or an injury. They feel like, well, I'm not sure I can do these kind of exercises, or, I have bad knees. My doctor said I have arthritis, all these different kind of
Mm,
things, right? And there's always a solution for everything, right? And so one of the things is being able to get information, get educated, get knowledge on like, hey, I may have arthritis, I may have issues in my knees, but I can actually fix that through exercise. And so most people, they avoid the very solutions that are going to help them the most because they think that their problem is an interference to them, doing the thing that's going to solve the problem, right? So one thing is just having that kind of pain or discomfort, and both partners can be able to take an active role in finding the right kind of help who can give them guidance to be able to overcome that barrier. A second challenge that sometimes people have is just really the schedule, right? Man, like how do I, we have different schedules, revolving schedule. How do we make that time? And that's the place where accountability and guidance can also be helpful, right? Sometimes we're so, they say the mind that created the problem can also solve it or fix it, right? And so sometimes it takes someone outside, and this is what we really specialize in our GAP program. It's our guaranteed accountability program. It's not just us giving you the information of what to do this exercise, do that,
mm,
do this meal plan. It's about us helping you to install it into your life. That's why we call it guaranteed accountability, because we're going to help you. We're going to give you the ability to be held accountable to the very thing that you actually are able to do, but you've been telling yourself that there's no way that me and my spouse can be able to work out together. We have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old and they're running around. I'm telling you, there is always a way. I've worked with people who are like, man, I'm a nurse. I work 12-hour shifts. I'm always exhausted. But when we sat down and have a conversation, the same person who felt like they were exhausted, they had no strength, hearing the right thing will give you the right motivation to see your situation differently. And you'll say, oh, wow, this was always possible. I didn't know I could do this. So I think that's where the accountability piece comes in for people who like their schedules are too busy and it doesn't work out together, all those different things.
I love it. And there's something you said. There's a solution to everything. With a knee pain, can't stand up for a long period of time, it becomes a question of how can I exercise with this? Not that can I. It's how there's a
There you go.
solution. So I want to encourage everyone who's watching, based on what doctor said, there's always a solution. It may not be the same for the person who can stand or who's pain free, but there's something you can do. So I love that mentality, and I love how you said that you help them install it into their lives. You take that and you install. So that's going to segue to my next question. Could you talk about, you know, how, like, your success stories, or how working with couples, and or some of the changes you've seen, so we can tell our viewers what's possible when they exercise together.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most rewarding things that I've been able to do is to help people's in really terrible situations in terms of life-threatening health conditions to be able to just get back out with their family again. I've had patients, and just to go with one, I've had an elderly gentleman, really old guy. I've worked with several people in their 70s and 80s who were bedridden, and their spouse, they couldn't get out the house with their spouse for a birthday or for a celebration, and being able to help them to get active again and to be able to see that, wow, like what the other providers said I would never be able to do. We're getting out the house. We're able to go down the stairs. This person who couldn't walk, or people who couldn't, walk without using a walker, things like that, being able to get out the house and feel stronger again. Other individuals, I've worked with people who are in their like 30s, who are single, who's like, hey, like, I don't think I'm really, relationship material because of my excess weight. And these are the real conversations I have with people. But
Mm.
being able to help them not only improve their self-confidence before they've lost weight, but as they've lost weight, being able to come into a place where they're like, wow, I'm actually not being overlooked by people who, are potential spouses or relationships, help people to be able to get into relationships because they're feeling better about themselves. They're more confident, all these different kind of things. So those are some of the things that I've seen that we've been able to help that have been rewarding in this area.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, Other question I have for you is: are there any other specific tips or strategies you advise couples to keep in mind when they're going to start integrating exercise into their relationship?
Very simple. Yeah. Don't make it about exercise.
Ooh,
Very simple. In fact, this advice that I'm giving is not even just relevant for people who are trying to, incorporate this into their relationship. For any person who wants to live a consistently healthy and fit, I always hear that they're like, I just want to live a healthy life. I just want to be consistent. I want to be disciplined. I hear that all the time. And it's like, what does that mean? But here's the thing: stop making it about exercise, because don't even make it about trying to be healthy, because the honest truth is, if being healthy was as important to you as you say it is, you would be doing the things to help yourself stay healthy right now. So there's obviously things that are more important to you than being healthy. And that's not to say that being healthy is not important to you, but it's not that important to you because you would be prioritizing it more. So here's
wow.
the thing: do not make it about exercise. You have to realize that you exercising, the benefits of that exercise will correlate to the other areas of your life that are important to you. Like the areas of your life that are very essential that you're prioritizing right now, whether it's your finances, your career, your profession, getting a new job, or getting a spouse, or doing whatever, right? Those areas are all going to be improved through being healthier and consistent. So if you stop making it about exercise and start making it about the benefits that exercise will
Mm,
have in every other area of your life, that's the place where sometimes you need a little bit of guidance to be able to see clearly, like, okay, it's not about, my issue is not consistency. It's about clarity. It's about seeing clearly how me exercising and being healthier is going to help me in every other area of my life. If we want to talk about our family, our fitness, our future, our finances, being fit and healthy is going to help you in every single area of your life. And I wish I had more time to talk in depth about that, but that's what we do in our programs. That's what we talk to people about and our clients and stuff.
so I like how you said stop making it about exercise. And what I got from what you said is that exercise affects the things you prioritize over exercise. Your job. If you're healthy, if you exercise, you're able to work the job that makes the money that is important to you. If your marriage is important to you, you will exercise so you can stay alive and well and enjoy the wife of your youth. All those things are tight. Wow, that was deep. I hope someone caught. I hope quite a few people caught that. It's tied to every area of your life, and it's essential. And this is good. Um, Now, my next question to you would be this. So I have someone who's watching who's like, yeah, but you don't know my husband. Well, nah, you don't know my wife. I've tried for years, and they don't want to exercise with me, or they don't. Do you have any tips on how to negotiate this new thing, this new let's exercise together?
That is, I love that question. Perfect question. I love it so much. And the answer is so simple. This is great. The answer is don't negotiate, just demonstrate. It's that simple. You see, this is the powerful thing. And I just had someone who joined one of our programs have this same example. She joined maybe about a month ago, and she was like, I want my family to be a part of it, XYZ. I want my sister, my sibling, XYZ, or whatever, right? And she's like, I'm not sure if they're going to want to do it, right? Here's what happened. She started getting results. She just started going. And when people begin to see that you have demonstrated and you are getting results, they're like, oh my gosh. Like for someone whose spouse begins to see like, oh my gosh, you're fitting your clothes better. You're looking kind of good. Like, what are you doing? Like when you start getting results, you demonstrate so that you don't have to negotiate. It's just that simple. Demonstrate so that you don't have to negotiate. It's just like when you start getting results and they start seeing the transformation, I can tell you that is the most convincing argument than words can ever provide.
I concur. And sometimes it's not even the weight doesn't drop, but how they feel, the energy levels, and they're like, you know what? I want some of what you're doing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to encourage everyone who's saying I've been doing that, keep at it. Play the long game. It may take weeks, it may take months, it may take years, but you keep demonstrating till you get the effect. It works. It works. That's powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been very enlightening. So we're gonna wrap up in a few minutes, but any last minute word before I ask, where people can find you, because I'm sure people are eager to find out your LinkedIn page so they can go see the things I saw. So any last words of advice or of encouragement to someone who's watching who's like, you know what, I think I want to try it, but have many buts in their mind right now, because you know how the mind works. There's always an excuse as to why this may not work. Um, any words of encouragement?
Yeah, two last things I'll say is one, like I've been saying, every area of your life hinges upon your health, your body, your well-being. And one thing that I'll mention that I talk about a lot is that, and this may be a little bit deep for some people, but exercise is actually spiritual. One of the reasons why people struggle to be able to become consistent or to be disciplined and to get the results of, living a healthy life consistently and all those things is because consistency and discipline, those are spiritual inputs that produce the physical outcome of losing weight or improving our health. And so a lot of times we're trying to change our external behavior. But we need to have a spiritual health inventory. How are we spiritually? Do we love ourselves? Are we disciplined? And working on those things is going to help us to produce the physical outcomes that we're looking for. So I would encourage you, if you're watching that, to know that every area of your life hinges upon your well-being, you becoming the healthier version of yourself. Whether it's your faith, your spiritual walk, maybe you're not spiritual, whether it's your family, it hinges on how healthy you are, how well you are mentally and physically, whether it's your finances, your career, like all of these things hinge on your fitness, how well you're doing. And so I think that that's why you should prioritize it. And if you're afraid, if you feel like you have had challenges or you've tried a lot of things and haven't worked, it's all about talking to the right person. So get the right accountabilities, people who are not struggling with the same things you're struggling with, but people who have the answers to the problems that you've been trying to figure out.
I love it. Don't give up on yourself. All right. There are answers out there. Seek it out. It may take effort. It may take you asking for what you need, but please do it. Do it. Do it. All right, Doc. This was really good. I'm going to have you come back. I usually ask people live, so that way they can't really say no. So I'll ask that probably in the next few months, maybe 3 or 4 months, we could do a part two. I think
Anytime.
this message needs to go out more often. So for those who are watching, who are like, I want to connect with this, Doc. Where can people find you, Doc?
So they can go to our website, rehabmobile.com. And then we have our YouTube page. So that has so much free content where I teach a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. And I just share this free information. And we have free meal plans that you can get there and all these different kind of things. So you can go to Rehab Mobile PT on YouTube. So at Rehab Mobile PT. Or if you go to our website, rehabmobile.com, you can find us. If you search for me on Instagram, you'll find myself. I'm on TikTok as well. And at Dr.Tobi. So you can find me there. And yeah.
All right, awesome. So I'm putting it down here at the bottom of the screen for those who want to get that information. He's also on Instagram and he's on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn.
I am. Yeah.
Um, So I'm putting all of that at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for doing this afternoon. I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking the time to spread this good news.
This has been an amazing opportunity. I love what you're doing, bringing health professionals and other valued experts in their field to be able to help people and benefit people, not only in the health space, but in their entire life. So I'm grateful for what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you all for watching live and in the replay. And of course, sharing is caring. So please forward this, tag your friends, share it with them because this is very, very helpful for you and for them as well. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel and to his as well, so you get useful like feeds on your social media. You know what I'm saying? The ones you can take off, and these are the ones you should add on. The ones you do show less of.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So,
So,
so definitely please share this. And thank you all for joining me this evening. And as always, if you or anyone you know is looking for an awesome, a compassionate, and thorough family physician in the Mansfield, Texas area who will have conversations to help you live long and well, I am she. I appreciate every one of you. And thank you again, Doc. This was
you're
good.
so welcome. Thank you.